What's up guys, it's Dasha. Today you're in luck because I'm gonna give you my top tips on how to start thinking in English and get a step closer to sounding like a native. This video is particularly useful for those of you whose goal is to transition from being stuck at an intermediate level to becoming advanced and eventually fluent. But all the same, if you're someone who can't stop translating word by word in your head from your native language into English, then stay tuned and keep watching. Firstly, I want to say that what distinguishes a good English speaker from a near native speaker is the ability to speak spontaneously and with very little hesitation. Having said that, my first tip for you is to immerse yourself completely into English. And what I mean by that is to make English part of your daily life and daily routine. The goal is to be surrounded by the language as much as possible, so it actually becomes inconvenient for you to think in your native language. So you could, for example, switch all your devices like your phone and PC into English. Or let's say that part of your morning routine is to listen to a podcast or scroll through the news in your native language. Then just listen to an English podcast or read the news and top stories in English. Another thing I like to do when I learn a language, and take it from me, I know 7 of them, is to have the television switched on at all times. So I'll have like the news or random TV shows in like say French playing in the background. What that does is create a passive way for you to absorb a different language. Without you even knowing it, you get to listen to natural English speech, and importantly, you'll pick up different kinds of intonations and pronunciations. Now that you've immersed yourself completely into English, your next step is to learn English phrases and expressions. The reason I say phrases and not just words is because one of the most effective ways to learn a language is to learn it in chunks. In other words, by learning groups of words rather than individual ones, you're learning which words typically go together, like a puzzle. Not only that, but you're also learning actual expressions that native speakers commonly use. For example, the expression, "How's it going?" If you were to take this phrase literally, it doesn't make any sense. What does it mean? And where is it going? And it wouldn't make any sense if you were to translate it directly, word by word, into, say, Russian. But by learning English phrases in chunks, you won't have that problem. Plus, it will stop you from translating words and expressions from your native tongue. That's precisely why I do a lot of videos like this one here, where I talk about common English phrases in a certain topic. However, this doesn't of course mean that you shouldn't ever learn new individual words and expand your vocabulary. And this brings me to tip number 3. Yes, learning new vocabulary on a daily basis is super important, but it doesn't have to be boring. The best way to learn new vocabulary is to first set yourself a daily vocabulary goal, and it doesn't have to be insane like learn 50 to 100 words a day. Give yourself a realistic goal that you know you can achieve, like say, I don't know, 5 to 10 new words a day. You can use an app like ClickUp or Strides to track your daily goals to make sure that you're hitting your targets. Now comes the big question. How and where do I find these words? The simplest thing you could do is to read articles, books, you name it, in a topic that you're really interested in. Don't make the mistake of forcing yourself to read something that you find boring. You're gonna hate it. Then block off an hour, yes, just an hour in the day to read something and make a note of the new words. Do not, I repeat, do not use a bilingual dictionary to find the translation into your native language. Instead, just look up their meanings and example sentences in a monolingual dictionary, that is from English to English. Trust me, you're going to do yourself a huge favor by continuing to immerse yourself in English, but also forcing yourself to think in English. Then you can put all your new words into practice by forming sentences either in your head or in writing so that you can give them some context. And one of the best ways to give words context is to use them in real-life conversation. This makes my 4th tip the following: practice English with native speakers. If you have a near native or native English speaking friend or colleague, then then take advantage of the opportunity to speak to them. At the end of the day, all of that hard work you've been putting into learning vocabulary, learning expressions, making English part of your daily routine will all go to waste if you don't put them into practice. And you'll never actually learn to react spontaneously to a conversation if you don't actually speak to someone. I know what you're thinking. It's not always easy to find someone to talk to if you're not in an English-speaking country. I get ya. Of course, if you have the financial resources, basically money, then you could hire a tutor on Preply or find a language partner on languageexchange.com. You'll find a link to them in the description box below. Or even better, travel to an English-speaking country so that you can completely immerse yourself in the English language. But if none of that is possible, then you could talk to yourself in English and narrate your day, which is tip number 5. That's actually a really fun thing to do, and I would strongly encourage you to do this even if you do have a conversation partner. What's important here is that you make a conscious effort to use English in your thoughts and not just in conversations with others. Talking to yourself is a great way to eliminate that translation process that goes on in your head. You could literally get up in the morning and say something like, "It's time to get up. I'll go to the bathroom and brush my teeth and take a shower." And then you could just go about your day narrating every single action in English and describing what you see in front of you. Like, "This is a red bus," or "This chair is comfortable." If you don't know a certain word, you can get creative by using other words to describe an idea. For example, let's say that you left the house without taking your sunglasses on a very sunny day and you forgot the word sunglasses. Instead of thinking or saying out loud, "I forgot my sunglasses," because you obviously forgot that word, you could say, "I forgot the thing that protects my eyes from the sun." And it doesn't matter if it sounds silly or ridiculous because you're still practicing the language, and that's what matters. Eventually, you'll be able to think of more complex ideas and thoughts because your brain will get used to thinking in English. And my last and final tip that you absolutely cannot do without is none other than consistency. You will not learn how to think in English overnight, and there's no easy way to do it. By following each tip that I gave you today on a daily basis, you will start thinking in English in no time. Studies have shown that if you want to pick up a skill and keep it in your long-term memory, then doing a bit of it every day over a long period of time will help you achieve just that. Learning how to think in English will therefore take time and effort. So be patient and follow these tips every day. Other than that, we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope that you found these tips useful. And if you loved the video, let me know by hitting that like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my videos. See you soon. Bye bye.